Cardio. Which type of cardio is best for weight loss? The $1,000,000 question. So what I'm talking about here is HIIT training, high intensity interval training, or moderate intensity, long duration cardio. Which is best? So let's start with the high intensity, which is very popular right now because we all want our butt kicked, right? And we think that if our butt got kicked in 20 minutes, we got bang for our buck and no pain, no gain, so it must be better, but is it? High intensity interval training, heart rate gets highly elevated and then you recover and repeat, but you don't have to do it for very long. Because the intensity is so high, for one, because the intensity is so high, some people can't do it. They have to build up to that sort of stuff, or they have physical limitations, so it's not for everybody. But those people that can do it, it is a sugar burning activity, right? It is a sugar burning activity because the intensity is so high, we can't really use oxygen, so we have to use the fuel that's available right now, and the fuel that is available right now is the fuel that's in the muscle, and that is carbohydrates, sugar. It is a sugar burning activity. Also with HIIT training, if you've ever done a Peloton class in 20 minutes and had your butt handed to you, but the calorie burn when you looked was like pathetic. There's not that many calories burnt for most people in high intensity interval training. But the benefit of high intensity interval training is what it does for our conditioning. Okay, so it improves our anaerobic threshold. I'll save that for another video. But that's the threshold at which we can actually use oxygen in our exercise. So it improves that. And our resting heart rate, we can bring it down. Now, as we age, our heart rate goes down. There's not much we can do about that, but we can improve our resting heart rate. And absolutely, high-intensity interval training really does help with that. And that's my primary reason for doing it, conditioning. Moving on to the moderate intensity, long duration cardio, which is often poo-pooed because it's not hard enough, anybody can do it. But that's the beauty of it, right? Anybody can do it. Big calorie burn. Compared to that 20-minute Peloton class, you go out and you go hiking for an hour, you got a much bigger calorie burn. And when it comes to weight loss, that absolutely counts. The calorie burn absolutely counts. What else? So with the moderate intensity long duration cardio, it's a fat burning exercise, and that's because you're doing it for longer. So again, if you're doing it short and intense, you have to use the fuel that's available. My bicep again, which is sugar. Carbohydrates are available. Same with weight training. You have to use the fuel that's available right there, right now. But when we're doing a moderate intensity long duration, our body fat has time to be mobilized, travel in the blood, go to the muscles, and it is more of a fat burning exercise. So that is great. So which is best for weight loss, fat loss? The ideal scenario, the sweet spot is a combination of both. You do HIIT training for conditioning, health reasons, improving, bringing your resting heart rate down, pushing the anaerobic threshold. But the moderate intensity, long duration, you're doing it because that's fat burning and it's a calorie burn. That's really important. So combination of both is the sweet spot. But so I'm not going to say either or here because the bottom line is the best exercise is the exercise you do. If you've only got 20 minutes, then yes, that Peloton is obviously the best one. You're not going to go. But if you've got some time, then that long duration cardio is wicked, right? They did a study on long-term weight loss, and they interviewed people that had lost weight and had sustained that weight loss over 2 years. And the activity that was reported by 90% of the respondees, and the number one activity was walking. I like to tell my clients that walking works. Again, the people that had lost the weight and they'd sustained it for over 2 years, the number one reported exercise was walking. Get those steps in. There's a lot of other benefits of the moderate intensity long duration. It is a time when you can actually, you don't have to be in a gym, you can get outside. It's also a time that you can spend with other people, you can socialize, you can put Audible on, listen to a book. There's so many other benefits of it. So never underestimate the power of the lower intensity, longer duration cardio. It mobilizes fat, greater fat burn, usually a greater calorie burn. It can be combined with a social activity or an opportunity to immerse yourself in something else. The high intensity interval training isn't for everybody, especially those just starting out on a weight loss journey. It can be a little bit intimidating. It can be straight up just too difficult at first. But once you're doing it, for one, you feel pretty good after doing it. You do definitely get that feeling of satisfaction, that high, that burst of energy. But on a conditioning level, then yes, we can be more conditioned individuals when we push our heart rate to that sort of intensity. So the sweet spot is both. But again, the best exercise is the exercise you do. HIIT training doesn't burn much fat, usually a lower calorie burn, but improves our conditioning, which overall serves as well. Long duration, moderate intensity cardio, we're burning more fat, usually a greater calorie burn, and it's an opportunity that most people are able to do some form of long duration, moderate intensity cardio, so there's not necessarily the physical limitations, and there's also the opportunity to be more social, do it with someone else, get outside and or immerse yourself in another area of self-improvement. Hope that answers the question. I was a little bit vague. The answer is both.